What up, everyone? It's your boy Sitemangali, the Reverend of the Revolution, welcoming you to another edition of your Daily Revolution, the podcast and the movement that helps you to wake up, turn your brain on, and to prosper every single day in every part of your life. Today's topic: what happens in 3 years? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. What happens in 3 years is simply this. Right? Every 3 years I can look back and say, holy smokes, look how much has happened. So in 2006 to 2009, this is what happened. 2006 was making money hand over fist, 6-figure months, was building a 7-figure business, rolling in a brand new Mercedes. Life was good, living in a brand new home, was building homes left and right, flipping homes left and right, and lending money out left and right. Had developments down in Florida, had some properties in Atlanta, had properties in Utah, and was rolling big. And in 3 short years, by 2009, I was selling my Super Bowl ring, was bankrupt, and miserable. Like bankrupt in the 2010. 3 years, right? So you take a look at the next 3 years, from 2009 to 2012. Oh my goodness. 2009, sell my Super Bowl ring. 2010, bankrupt. Right? Depressed and miserable. Just stressed beyond measure. Trying to figure out, how did I go from wealthy, happy, fulfilled, to struggling to just get by. And then by 2012, was in a master's program, had 2 summers of knocking under my belt, had money in the bank, more money than I can remember, dating back to 2007, and figuring out, okay, now what? Where do I go from here? And now, the next 3 years. Right? And I'm going to share with you just a moment what this means for you, because this is critical. If you don't get this principle that I'm going to share today, if you don't get this, you'll never break the loop. No matter what books you read, doesn't matter what seminars you attend, you will never break the loop of insanity, which is staying in the same place, hoping for something different, and trying to get something different, but not making the leap and the jump. Enter 2013, 3 years ago. 3 years ago at this time, I was knocking in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, covering Quad Cities on the east side all the way to Des Moines on the west side. I was living in a tiny apartment with my family. I had a team of 50-plus reps and their families, and we were covering the whole state of Iowa, selling home smart security systems. And 3 years later, I'm driving down to Surf and Sand Resort. My clients have flown in from all over the world, and I've got a 2-day mastermind. What does this mean? It's crazy to conceive that 3 years ago, I was doing a job that allowed me to grow and expand, that I have so much respect and admiration for, because it pulled me out of the depths of bankruptcy and misery. And now 3 years later, 3 years ago, knocking doors. Later on in 2013, what would end up happening is I would come to the Surf and Sand for the first time. I came to a program called Wake Up Warrior. For the first time, I hired my man. His name is Garrett White. It changed my life. Like, it's crazy. It changed my life. It reminded me who I was. I was a king living like a pauper. I was a powerful man playing small. And I came down to the Surf and Sand. Now remember here, right? I grew up in Utah. So proud of what my mom and dad had taught me, what they'd given. They sacrificed everything so that I could be here in the States to live the life that I currently live, coming from the islands. 3 years ago in December of 2013, I arrived at the Surf and Sand. I'm here for a 3-4 day event, and I commit to being this coach, and I want to be the speaker and this trainer. And I'm at the Surf and Sand thinking, man, I can see dolphins from my room. Like, the beach is right there. You look down and you see the ocean, hearing the waves crash all night. And this was so significant because 3 years later, my brothers and sisters, I'm driving to the Surf and Sand in the dream car that I love driving. This is my 3rd Mercedes. Look, I'm a Mercedes guy. I like Mercedes. I don't care what kind of car you drive. It's irrelevant to me. The only thing that's relevant is, are you living the life you were born to live, and are you loving the life that you're living? So I'm now driving on a sunny Southern California evening while my clients are waiting for me. We're going to go grab dinner, and we got 2 days together to help them to grow and expand. I love it. This is so significant because, number one, coaching works. I hired my boy, Garrett, who trained me, who coached me, who helped me. I hired a couple other coaches in that time, and since then, that I've stopped working with my brother Garrett, I've hired a couple other coaches to help me. Coaching works. Listen, you want to accelerate the game in your life? Find a coach and a mentor, or maybe one or two coaches or mentors who can guide you energetically, verbally, with actions, with blueprints, and find that mentor or that group. And listen, right, you don't have to go pay like large amounts of money. All you have to do is find someone who can help you to level up. This is the first principle I'm going to share with you. How do you collapse so much inside of 3 years? Find a mentor, find a coach, someone, and I'm not talking about a book. Look, books are powerful. I love reading. I truly love to read. But there comes a point in time where you're going to have to work with somebody, not a book, and not a YouTube video, and not an info product, but someone who can guide you and lead you, who can help you to see what you can't see. This is the biggest thing that happened over the last 3 years. I've had a handful of coaches who have been able to guide and help me tremendously. So now as I'm driving to meet with my clients tonight, Surf and Sand, second principle I want to share is that your environment truly matters. Your environment truly matters. Now, does this mean you have to move out of your home and move to another city? Well, for some of you, it might. I was talking with some friends, and when they lost everything back in the mortgage day, and right, he bought a construction company, and then it went under, and then people were suing him, and it was very stressful. They just had their first baby, and this is what they said. They said, once we started to get our feet back under us, they said, okay, where do we really want to live? Where do we really want to be? And they said, we want to be in Orange County. And they said, okay, this is where we want to go. Let's create a plan and let's get there. They've been here since. And they've settled their roots here, and they're like, it's made the biggest difference. Why? Because where you live matters. Again, you don't have to come to Orange County. For some of you, it's going to be Arizona. For some of you, it's Canada. For some of you, it's the islands. Maybe it's even Utah, where I used to live. But find the neighborhood, find the area, find the place where this is where I want to sink my roots deep and raise my children. This is where I want to grow. This is where I want to be. Brothers and sisters, your environment truly matters. Since making the move from Utah to Orange County, for me, again, this is for September, you've got to find the principle and relevancy for you. I've grown tremendously. Why? Because my environment has forced me to level up. It's a different area down here in Orange County. For the job that I do, I love where I live. And I couldn't figure out why would people want to live somewhere else other than what's comfortable? Because where you're comfortable, you die. Life was never about being comfortable. Life was about getting comfortable, being uncomfortable, and growing. In 3 years, so much has changed. The fact that I'm driving, I feel like it's a dream. I'm doing the things that I was born to do. I'm coaching highly committed people. I'm helping men and women to get their lives back. And one of my friends asked me, said to me, like, well, what kind of clients do you have? And I said, well, I've coached everyone. Doctors, attorneys, realtors, real estate investors, CEOs, business owners, home builders, everything between network marketers, info marketers, coaches, trainers, 5th and 6th degree black belt masters, COOs, CFOs, UFOs, just kidding. And they said, well, it's kind of like, what is the common denominator? What do you really do? And my answer, it came out of my mouth, and it just came natural. And I said, I help people to solve the most expensive problem in their life. And I'm doing it today. And I love it. So my invitation to you, wherever you're at in life, just know that you always have the power to alter your life. Wherever you are in your life, you have the power to change. Wherever you are in your life, you have the power to shift. You're not a victim. Wherever you're living, you don't have to live there. Wherever you're working, you don't have to work there. And no matter how difficult things have gotten for you in your life, just know over a 1 month, 3 month, 3 month, 6 months, 6 month, 1 year, 1 year, 2 year, over a 3-year period, over a 5-year period, you can change your life in such a drastic way that, like me today, you will look back and say, this is like a dream come true. Oh my goodness, how did this happen? And it's not by magic, and it's not by attracting. This was about getting really truthful and honest about the life you want to live. It's about getting really clear and specific about what's necessary and required. And then it was making a commitment once you decide you could do that, and then just like not ever quitting. As I'm driving now, I can see the ocean. It's beautiful. All the way to the horizon. I can see Catalina Island coming down a street called Crown Valley Parkway. It's a beautiful area, and I'm humbled, blessed, and fortunate that I'm able to live where I live and do the work I'm called to do. And it didn't come easy. It came with a steep price. Brothers and sisters, it's going to come with the price. Are you willing to pay that price? What can happen in 3 years? A total transformation. And it can start with wherever you are right now. Brothers and sisters, I invite you. I plead with you. I beg you and I exhort you and I encourage you. You were not born to have the wind blow you by. You were not born to just wake up and pay bills. God has a plan for you. There's a purpose for your life. And you've got to wake up and you've got to choose it. I'm excited to see what happens in 3 more years. Because I know this. I'm building a business and I'm building a lifestyle where I can inspire and empower men and women across the world, across the globe, to live the greatest version of their lives, to wake up, to prosper, to break free of the slavery and bondage mentality which has so many people hooked in. Brothers and sisters, the time is yours. The time is now. The place is wherever you're at. It's time to level up. It's your boy Satem Mangala reminding you, if you're going to create a life of real radical results, a life that you love, it's going to require you to get into a relentless pursuit with a ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day so that you can get to the top of your mountains where your prize, promised lands, and possibilities are waiting, just waiting for you. The prosperity revolution has begun. I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.